Welcome, all you amazing people, to our Aries full moon reading. The Aries full moon is going to be reaching its fullest on October 20th, around 8:56 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust for that, because that's going to be at the very climax of all the energies. This is an Aries full moon, so you got all that fiery energy of Aries being a fire sign, and then multiply that times the regular, just huge energy of a full moon, and you've got Shazam! You got all this energy coming in, a lot of energy. Of course, with a full moon and with all this amplification, emotions are also going to be amplified in a huge way. So just know whatever emotion that you're focusing on, and whatever emotion you choose during that time, you're going to feel it in a big way. But it's wonderful. I mean, you can feel the energy up to a week before the full moon, up to a week or so after the full moon. The more closer we get to the full moon, the more intense it is, the more dreams you're going to have, so you're going to feel all that. So if you feel out of sorts, just look up at the sky and go, the full moon. That is why my emotions are feeling very, expanded. What's great too is we had 2 full moons in a row in Aquarius in July and August, and then we just had a full moon in Pisces last month. So that had us all on this track of dreamy times, and then we followed that up with the energy of the Pisces full moon, which was about putting some practical plans to those dreams. So putting some plans around the steps towards that dream. And now we have all this blast of energy that we can use and focus it onto those steps. However, it's always a however, right? Also keep in mind that moving from Pisces to Aries, we're ending the cycle of the zodiac signs. We reach the end of Pisces and we're moving in to the beginning again with Aries. And so this might bring some new awareness, and it might cause you to desire to make revisions to the dream, make revisions to the plan. So you might alter your path a little bit, and that's totally okay. So if you feel that energy of wanting to switch things up, don't resist that, because it is part of this beautiful energy that will help you with all of that. Now, the last new moon we had in Aries was back on April 11th of this year, and that was a time of taking action on things. So when you look back around April 11th and see what was going on around that time, what kind of actions you did initiate, because now is also the time to reevaluate. You plant seeds and everything with a new moon. It grows into the harvest of the full moon. And then as you wane away from that to head back towards a new moon again, in that whole cycle of Aries new moon to Aries full moon, back to Aries new moon, it's like 6 months between a new moon and a full moon in the sign, and then back again. So, this moving away from the full moon will be a time where you're also going to be looking at what you're ready to let go of. So, there's all of this reevaluation type of energy coming with this full moon, because of the ending of that big cycle of Aries to Pisces and going back into Aries again, as well as the full moon. You're reaching the climax of the full moon and headed backward. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a reading for each sign, and the question we're kind of going to look at is, what can you reevaluate? But really, I really feel like with all this energy, it's where can you direct this lightning bolt of energy that's coming? What advice does Spirit and the Creator have for us on where we can direct it for the most beneficial experience and most in alignment of who we want to be and where we want to go? So we're going to go ahead and jump right into your reading right now. All right, all my Sagittarians, this is your reading for the full moon in Aries, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these beautiful Spirit of the Animals Oracle. This is just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know over the entire 3 weeks around the full moon. And I'll talk about that in a moment here, where the 3 weeks lie. And, or this, of course, is where any information on what the Creator wants you to know and where you can direct this fire bolt or this lightning bolt of energy that's coming from this Aries full moon. So I'm going to shuffle one more time there. All right. So Creator, for our Sagittarians, what do you want them to know about this 3-week period? Okay. I really feel like this one is calling out to us. And you got the Giraffe Visionary. This is rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. You're able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth, and love with a big heart. I love those. I love giraffes. They're such amazing, majestic animals, whenever you see them. Unfortunately, in a zoo is the only place that we can see them. And but you see videos of people who visiting Africa and place, and they have them come up to the second story and looking in your window. That would be awesome. But the other energy that comes with this is gentleness, grace, beauty, charm, higher perspective, vision, foresight, perception, mother's love, and intuition. So beautiful, beautiful. Excuse me. It says the giraffes are the tallest land mammals. They tower far above all others and stride with grace across the savanna. Their long, slender necks lift their sight so they see life from a greater perspective. Giraffe often appears when we need to be reminded just how grand we are and that we have the potential to rise above any challenge with grace. Giraffe people are encouraged to stretch themselves as far as they can go. If giraffe is your totem, you are a natural visionary with keen perception. You can see things that are coming long before others can. Giraffe people have strong bonds with their family and friends. Because giraffe mothers share a special protective love with their offspring, this is a meaningful totem for children and mothers. Giraffe is a very giving, giraffe is very giving and often needs to set boundaries to avoid being misused. A unique giraffe trait is just how little sleep and water they need to maintain themselves and their lives. This characteristic signifies their conservative use of resources. Giraffes have amazing stamina and are patient, silent, and wise. Giraffe is an elegant power animal that bestows on you the gifts of friendship, grace, vision, and charm. I'm just going to take a quick sip of coffee here. Have a little frog in my throat. Sorry about that. And I love this card because it does come with 4 questions or I guess you call it advice. And if any of this resonates for you, you can do it during the 3-week period. Did you stick your neck out too far? Have you lost your balance? Do you need a higher perspective on a tough situation? Do you need to put yourself first and get more sleep and water? And number 4, reach for the truth from a greater perspective. I love that. So definitely this 3-week period is a lot about, like the visionary, it's your higher vision because you're seeing things from that higher perspective. You being also a fire sign, you're going to feel this energy of this Aries full moon more than the other elements, depending on what else you have, of course, in your chart. But because you are also fire, you can relate so well with it, and you really direct that energy in a very powerful way. So whatever vision you have, you can definitely aim this lightning bolt toward it to bring it to life. Like, Frankenstein, it's not a monster, but it's your creation. It's like the lightning bolt brings the spark to it. We're also going to pull some cards here from these, the Naked Heart Tarot, and this other deck here. And what I'm going to do is pull a card for this 3-week period, which represents the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and then 2 weeks after the full moon. So we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know. But all this beautiful energy coming in. And one more time. All right, Creator, what do you want our Sagittarians to know about the week before the full moon? Okay, put that one there. And what about the week after the full moon? Okay. And what about the second week after the full moon? That's the one there. And then this other deck that I'm going to be using is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And we're going to do the same thing and pick a card for each of the 3 weeks here. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Sagittarians to know about the week before the new moon? Okay. And the week after the new moon? And then the second week after the full moon. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. The week before the full moon, you got the Four of Cups here, which definitely is about sparking this new vision within you, because the cups are your emotions. And the Four of Cups, you can see how the panda, the 3 cups that he witnessed and has been experiencing in his life, he's not too impressed with. He's daydreaming, he's looking out, he's kind of bored with this because it wasn't fulfilling for him. But this beautiful Ace of Cups is what brings you like this beautiful love. I call it the chalice or the Holy Grail. And it is filled with the living waters that quenches our thirst, that brings life to us, where these are the external things that we're told are supposed to fulfill us and make us whole. Like, I usually say there's 3 cups. 1 cup is relationships, with people, whether it's romantic or friendship or whatever. We're told these relationships are supposed to make us feel whole. Circumstances like jobs and other things like that. And then possessions and physical things. And each one of these ends up being disappointing, because what we're looking for is unconditional love, which is what we find in this Holy Grail, which comes from the Creator and we find from within us. So this is a beautiful message that this is being offered to you at this time. And I'm going to show you what you're really thirsting for, because this was not quenching for you. So definitely it's in line with finding this vision, raising your view to a higher perspective, and being able to funnel that energy that you've been funneling out here into those things into you for your dream instead, because all that other energy just kind of drifts away and sinks into the soil or goes into the black hole. It doesn't bring you what you're really wanting. It's just more, these outside things just make you even thirstier, make you even hungry for something more, right? Yeah, because here you are, star. Yeah, so this is definitely about connecting to the higher realms. This is all about looking higher. And so this is definitely kind of represents, there's like 3 worlds that we have: our subconscious underworld, our middle world where we, our physical body lives, and then the higher world where your higher self is, spirit, angels, spirit guides, where our loved ones are that are no longer with us. That's all, all up here. And you can see that you also have all these other orbs and other stars up there with you, which is your whole support team up in the heavens. They are, of course, around you in the physical world, but this represents just that higher self in that whole group. So, of course, you have the Creator, you have Spirit, you have guardian angels and angels, spirit guides. You've got, like I said, loved ones who've lived with you in this lifetime and have already returned back home. You've got your ancestors, and, add in unicorns and fairies and sprites and leprechauns, whatever you believe in these beings of unconditional love and light, you have full access to them. So if you don't know what vision you want, because a lot of times you've been living your life for everyone else, and so the dreams you've been living are the dreams you've been told are supposed to be your dreams, all these cups out here that are the supposed tos. And so when someone asks, no, what's really your dream? You're like, I don't know. I've never thought about it because I've always sacrificed my dreams for everyone else's. And so this is a beautiful time with this spark that's coming. If you don't know what your dream is, and if you're not sure if that's really your sincere dream, definitely take some time to look into your heart, connect to your higher self, to the higher realms, and just really see what it is and how you would like to do it, is express your unconditional love that you have within your heart, how you want to share that uniquely with the world. When you ask yourself that question, don't let all those expectations of the outside world try to define on how you're supposed to do that. How do you uniquely want to share it with the world, not trying to duplicate and regurgitate what other people are doing, but what makes your heart sing. And let your imagination, let them also, the higher realm, if you want ideas, ask them. They are connected to that creative force. Your higher self is, part of the creative force. We are little mini creators because we're made in the creator's image, right? We're little drops of the giant sea. We have all this creativity within us. So, taking time to quiet all the noise of all the opinions of the outside world on how you should live and how you should do it. And you can find yourself here. In fact, they just showed me this meditation that I love to do that helps me. And I just get somewhere quiet and just close my eyes and just imagine myself rising above my body and seeing me in the room, and then rising above further, like outside the roof of the home I'm in, and then rise further and I see the whole city that I'm in, and rise further, I see the whole state. Go further, I see the continent that I'm on. I go further and I start to see the earth from like the hemisphere. And then I move out to the moon and look at the world, and I move out further into the universe. And you just get this quietness that comes, and all that noise just kind of gets muted, and it gets quieter and quieter out there on that planet Earth. And then you really can connect and see yourself more purely, see your heart and your passions more purely. So good start for that week before the full moon, because you're getting ready to identify when that full moon hits its fullest. Then you're ready. You're like, okay, this is where it's going to go. Yeah, here you go. You got Two of Wands. Wands is your element. It is the fire element. It is the Aries full moon energy, and this kind of looks like a full moon. And you've got these antennas that are bringing in the energy. They're like lightning rods bringing in that power down for you. So I really feel like this is that zap that's coming. And I can almost I see, and depends on how old you are, or maybe you watched old movies that had antennas on TVs before they had cable. I know, what? Yes, times did exist that way, where you had to have these to be able to get the 3 to 5 channels that were out there. But I really feel like this is helping bring the vision into, it brings in clarity, it brings in the vibration and the frequencies to come in for you to be able to see things more clearly. And that's also what a crystal ball does. That energy allows you to see clarity into situations of the past, the present, and future possibilities as well. So a beautiful energy coming in. And the Two of Wands also has to do with you have this vision that you are identifying, having clarity. You start putting plans. It's like, okay, this is what I want, and this is how I can get there. What are the steps? And you start planning the steps. And then you have the Two of Swords. So 2 and 2. And I love that it's like, this is like identifying that there's 2 ways, because you can kind of see how those are, going this way, and you have this space in between. But I feel like this is, this is where it's coming together. And here's the full moon and the energy around it just going blasting up there. And I really feel, definitely that this is the because swords are of your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, even your expectations. That with this planning, you're definitely bringing in the mind into it and coming together with this plan. I really, the 2 really stands out, of course, because you have 2 of them. This is also this beautiful awareness and joining together of, you have your human side and you have your spiritual side, your shadow side, which is your ego and this human that's going upon this earth that has, all these desires that are conditioned by how it was raised and all the stuff that you received, right? So you have all those thoughts and those beliefs, those expectations, those drives. But then you have that spiritual self, your real self, that has a whole different source, based on unconditional love, which our human side is kind of like our opposite. It's our shadow, right? But this is like this joining together, and you realize that they don't have to be at odds. I can actually join these together and walk together hand in hand instead of separate. So I really feel like this coming together with that as well. And then the second week after the full moon, you get the Queen of Wands, or the Heart of Wands in here. So definitely, here's the Ace of Wands that you have, which is like this lightning rod again that you can really focus. She is almost at the end of the suit. And so she has realized how she can wield her power, how she can focus, not be scattered in her energy, but be able to focus energy in a direction and make great progress when you unify that. So instead of focusing on 5 things, which, you've got all these plans that you're making with this other ones, it's like, no, you don't have to do all that, focus on one thing and you accomplish it, and then you focus on the next. And so instead of being scattered and not having all the energy focused, you would be trying to take 5 steps at the same time and going back and forth and all over the place. You make solid, quick steps because you're able to focus all that energy on step 1, and then you're able to move quickly to step 2. You're able to move quickly to step 3. And because the wands are all about your drive, your ambition, your like your aha, inspiration, and all that. And so the Queen, because she knows what she wants, she's very confident, and that's why she's able to move forward. And again, you don't, a queen can be male or female or however you identify. It's just the energy of this card, and it being the female in the heart, it of course is more also brings in a lot of emotional energy around it as well. So you feel very passionate, and it's the kind of person that when you walk into a room, you just light it up and people are just energized from you because you just exude this beautiful energy that's flowing out of you. All right, and then lastly, you end up with the Daughter of Wands. Shut up. And so this is like the Page of Wands, and again, she has the Ace of Wands that she yields, and the Daughter of Wands being like pages, and of course being younger, there's two things that come with that. One is that a page is someone who brings messages. And so with this, especially all this energy, oh my God, because wands is like that fire element, it also for me represents your spiritual energy. And because of all this connecting up here and having all this beautiful energy flood in, for me this also means that you're getting messages from, you know, your higher self and the other side, really giving you clarity and guidance on what to do and how to do it, which allows you to move fast as well. Because when you're uncertain and not sure which way to go, then you're kind of like in this pause mode, waiting for more information. But with you connecting to the higher planes, you're getting these messages and this clarity. So you're like, okay, 1, 2, or 3, and they're like 1, okay, and you're trusting it and you're going, and then you get to another, you know, fork in the road or where there's multiple things, and you're like, okay, which one? And they're like, that one. And you're like, okay, and because you're trusting and listening and being in that quiet place, instead of the noisy place of all those expectations and fear, you're able to hear clearly and move quickly. The other thing about a page is like a daughter, it's a younger person, and that's that energy that goes back to when you were a child. You remember when when you're around young children now, and you're like, if I could just bottle that energy, so I could just have some of that whenever I need it. You know, that's the kind of energy you're going to feel because you're not investing all your energy out in these like 3 of Cups things, all this expectations and trying to fulfill everyone's wishes and make them happy and trying to, you know, pour your energy into something you're not really passionate about. You're retaining all this energy and so you feel energetic and you just have this, and, you know, whereas before you might wake up feeling like, ugh, I woke up again, I have to go do this stuff. You wake up going, oh my God, I can't wait to get started and do all this stuff today. And so you jump, you know, almost jump out of bed excited about what the day brings, instead of, you know, hitting the snooze alarm and rolling back over and going, maybe I'll just sleep through this day. So it's beautiful energy that comes with that. And it also, you know, that you have that energy as a child because you haven't been suppressed by all these roles of, you know, like by the dream stompers, you know, because children, you can ask them, what dreams do you have? And they're like, oh my God, I want to be a leprechaun, or I'm going to be a doctor or an astronaut, or, you know, something like that. And they have all these dreams before people start going, this is reality, pop, and pop's dreams, right? So that kind of energy they have is just when they have anything's possible, and they have all, like the world is an adventure, and it's so exciting, and that's the kind of energy that you return back to there. So I'm loving this for you. It's really going to be a transformational full moon for you. It's really going to be a spark. You know, it's just a 3-week period, so I know a lot kind of floods in, but you know, it won't drift away as the full moon drifts away, because it's like, you know, the spark is what took, you know, Frankenstein to come to life, but he lived there ongoing forward, right? And don't worry, you know, the townspeople aren't going to go and destroy your your creation. That's just you know, the sparking piece and the bringing it to life is what I'm focusing in on, right? So it's this, your dream becomes alive and then it lives. It just took this giant spark, this giant lightning bolt of energy at this full moon for you at this time in your life to bring that around. So I love it. All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that. And just know as you're going through this journey that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have an amazing full moon in Aries, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.